Hello guys, this is Leo from Quotes on Posters, and today I'm going to talk about this quote. Let the beauty of what you love be what you do, by Rumi. So, it's a very beautiful quote, isn't it? It's like very simple and very very beautiful way of actually saying that you know the best way to enjoy life is to do what you love. And I mean, this is something that most people that I know, they don't think about this. They don't think about really the beauty of life, and they don't actually follow their passion, or they don't follow what they really love to do. They just doing things for money, you know, or they just like taking some jobs because they don't know how to do anything else in their lives. And I think you can see a statistic that I saw somewhere. I saw that 80% of Americans, they are not happy in their jobs. So this is something very concerning, right? Because you see that people are really not happy, and people are not really doing what they like to do and what they love to do. And this is something very sad to see in the world. And why is this that happen? Why you can't be happy doing what you love? I think the reason is because a lot of people in the world, they're just concerning about their own survival, and they're just worried about how they're going to survive, how they're going to pay their rent, or how they're going to pay their bills, and they don't actually have the luxury to be able to choose to do something that they love. Sometimes they just have to apply for a job, and they just have to do whatever it's available in the market for them to do to pay their bills, and they're not really passionate, and they can't find their passion, you know. And I think I was really lucky. I don't. It's not that I consider myself lucky. No, it's not a matter of being lucky. But I always wanted to do things for me in my life that I'm passionate. I always wanted that, and I always pursued that. And whenever whenever I'm doing something, and suddenly I lose the passion and I lose the motivation, I always quit. So I'm a big quitter in life, actually. I quit so many jobs, and I quit so many, and actually my career, I kind of changed my career, right? Because I started working with advertising And in the beginning it was really nice. I was really happy and passionate to work on it and to do the things, pursue great advertising, to do great things. But the thing that happened is that when you're serious about something, and when you're working and you have to do something for real, you have to do something that you depend your life on it, and you have to pay your bills. When it starts to become an obligation, and when it starts to become a routine, because you have people that depends on you, and you depend on other people, and etc. And then things starts to be, you start to lose your motivation, you start to lose your passion, because it starts to become like a regular job that you have to do, and it's not nice. It's not, and you see that, and people actually see that when something really becomes routine and becomes a job, and you don't want to put yourself into this situation, right? You want to always be pushing yourself to the best that you can, right? So that's why I think it's important for you to have hobbies, and don't take those hobbies so seriously. Even though you might want to make some money out of your hobbies, don't take them so seriously that you then this becomes something like a routine, and then you have to do it with obligations, and then you just don't have the motivation anymore, because you have people, or you might have investors, and you might have people chasing you for results, and you don't want that, right? You don't want results. You don't want to be I mean, you want results, but you don't want to actually have to provide results to anyone. You want to be independent, right? The best thing to do is if you have something that you're doing for yourself, that you love, and you are independent, and you don't have this pressure, even though you can make a living out of it, and even though you might make a living out of it and depend on it, you don't have this like pressure to generate results every time, that's something for you to consider. Or you might not take this pressure seriously, or you might not care. And this is what big entrepreneurs do, right? They do what they love, they get investors, they get people to buy in, to follow their passion and follow them into their journey, and they really do what they love. They really execute with perfection, with mastery, and then you got everything makes sense, right? That's how you see these examples of big entrepreneurs doing this all over, right? And that's a very interesting stage where you want to be with yourself. You want to be doing something that you love, in the company of people that you care, and people that care to each other, and you want to be growing together with them. You want to be helping them to grow, and you also growing, right? And you really, very few people, as I said, very few people they have the luxury of doing this, Most of people are not satisfied, not happy with their jobs, and they lack the motivation, and they're lazy, so they hate their jobs. Maybe they're stuck in a relationship which they also hate, and they just do these things because they got trapped by society, you know, and then they just went into the flow of society, and they just had a college degree because they had to study, you know. They just thinks about they just believe in all the shit that society puts to them, and they don't realize that this is all bullshit, that society by itself and all the traps that society creates are only to benefit others and not to benefit yourself. And that's why they come with these ideas of getting a job and getting a degree. They come with these ideas of working a certain number of hours from 9 to 5, and all these things, which are things that society creates, but that they don't actually make any sense, right? If you think about it, you can be extremely successful and not work 8 hours a day, or you can do different things. Like Elon Musk, for example, he has different projects running at the same time because he diversifies, and he knows the amount of time that he can spend on each thing, right? So a lot of people, they don't even think about these things. They just want their level of conscious is so low that they never even stopped to think about. They never stop to think about these things. They just get a job that pays their bills, and they are able to manage to keep their bills paid, and they got this like quick entertainments here and there, you know, like they have some saved money which they can save from their jobs to drink beer after work, or drink beers in the weekends. They're not really following their passions. They're not really pursuing their best interests. And I used to do this a lot by myself, you know. I used to be in a lot of jobs, in a lot of companies that I was really not enjoying, and I was really not happy with the people who I had to work with, and the work that I had to do. And I don't know, it always felt like a struggle to me, you know. Maybe for some people it's natural. For some people they naturally do what they love, and the world actually perceives that and rewards them for that, and everything happens very easily for them. But for me, it was always a struggle, you know. It's always like I have to force myself to actually do what I love. So pretty much that's what I'm doing now with this project, you know. I'm like forcing a situation where I'm doing what I love, because I couldn't get this from a regular job, you know. Yeah, and something that happens to me a lot is that when I start, usually I start something, and I start very passionate, you know, and everything is beautiful in the beginning, and then I just try to do the best I can. I try to do the best I can, and I see that the environment is really not helping me, you know. Like I see that the work, the people who surrounds me, they are really not helping me to do the best, and I communicate this to them, and they don't care. So also you feel like they're really not caring about you giving your best. They're just caring about other things, which sometimes it makes sense, and sometimes it really doesn't make sense. But yeah, you feel like, you know, it's very hard for me to work with a group of people, and the group of people really caring about you and caring about what you want for yourself and what you can bring to the group, but that also benefits yourself. It's always like a tug of war. It was like a struggle on that, you know. So I always struggled. I always felt it was something like really hard, and I always felt deep in my heart. I always felt that I needed to do something for myself, you know, something that I don't need to ask the permission of anyone, and I can just have the freedom to do whatever I wanted. And I think that the main challenge here now is to do this, and this to be profitable, you know. Main challenge is for you to do what you love, but at the same time make it work, you know, make it something that brings enough value to enough people that you can actually make a living out of it. And this is something like really hard, and it's something a lot of people struggle to, and including myself. But let's see how I manage to do this, right? And what I would say to you, if you are stuck into this situation in your life that you are in a job, or you are working in something that you really don't enjoy, but you have a passion, you have a hobby that is something that you're really passionate about, that you pursue, that you'd like to do. My only advice that I give you is use all your free time that you have to pursue this hobby, you know, because if you really have the passion, you're gonna do this hobby, you're gonna work really hard, and you're gonna use all your free time on it, and then suddenly you're gonna be able to, if you're really good with strategy, if you are on the right timing, if you're doing the right things, if you're smart enough, because you have to be smart, you know, you have to also study a lot, you have to really be passionate. But the thing is, if you are really passionate about something, this passion that you have about something, this will eventually lead you to success. Because if you're really passionate about something, and then you know that you want to do this for your life, and you know that you want to make a living with this, you're gonna study, you're gonna find other people who are doing this, you're gonna connect with them, you're gonna learn from them, you're gonna learn from all the studies and all the things that you observe and all the things that you see, and then eventually you will have some certain success. It might take you a while. For some people it's very fast, for others it takes a decade, or for some people it takes a lifetime, and for other people it even takes it even never arrives when they are alive, you know. Because we only tend to see the success cases, we never see the failures, you know. We never see the thousands of entrepreneurs that never were able to create a product that was a hit, that was used by millions of people. We never see the failures and the entrepreneurs that failed 10, 20 times. But I believe that the bottom line that I'm trying to say is that I believe that if you really have the passion, even though you're gonna fail, if you will, at some point you will have some sort of success. You will succeed. It might not be a huge success, but it could be some considerable success that at least you can make a living out of it. And if you're really good, and if you're really passionate, you're gonna still can continue doing this, right? Because, for example, you can be an artist, and you might not be like Damien Hirst, that wants, like, I don't know how much 200 million. I don't know how much money he has, but you can be like an artist that don't even want 300,000, for example. You don't even get this money, but you can still do your art, you know, and you can still follow your passion and keep doing your art and keep being happy, because you're gonna realize that you don't need much, right? All these other things, they are like illusions. Like, you don't need a big car, you don't need a big house, you don't need expensive trips to different parts of the world. You don't need anything. And even you can even go further, and you can even contest this quote, and you can say that you don't even need, essentially don't even need to do what you love. You can even do it. You don't need to do anything, really. It's all about your mind, right? If you think about it, like, if you really go deep, if you look at the big picture, like, because most of the times we are stuck in our minds with these ideas, and we kind of fail to look at the big picture on things, right? But if you really think about your life, you really don't need anything. Like, you just need to eat, sleep, and shelter, right? Some food, some clothes that keeps you warm. That's what you need. You can have a shitty job that you hate, but in your mind, if you're very good with your mind, you're not gonna hate your job, because the job is not going to signify anything to you. And maybe you're lacking money, but this lack of money is not going to also signify anything to you. See, you don't need to fall into this trap that many people fall of chasing things and pursuing things. You don't need to do that. And you don't need to fall also into this trap that you have to do what you love, you have to pursue what you love. No, this can also be a trap, because society. This is also is kind of a trap that society tells you. But at the same time, you see that this 80% of people are not happy doing what they want. I think it's because society puts this pressure on them that they have to be happy doing what they want, and society kind of brings you that. Society brings you this notion of happiness, and society brings you this notion of freedom. But also, you don't know if these people that you see that puts on social media all their accomplishments, and puts on social media all their travelings and their lifestyles and all these things, you don't really know if they are actually happy. Maybe they are not. Maybe they're like really miserable inside. And sometimes I don't really get it. I see so many beautiful people. Like, for example, I see this beautiful girl on social media. Like, she's an influencer, and she's like really, really beautiful, and she lives in Norway, and she has like a very very interesting lifestyle. Like, seems to me that she has everything that she could ever ask. And even these people, like, she was confessing that she was depressed for many years. You see very successful people depressed, which is really crazy, right? If you imagine. So also, here's some reflection for you. Instead of actually wanting and desiring more and more and more, and having these dreams about doing what you love and everything, why don't you just like sit back for a while, have a deep breath, and think about your life now. think what you already have now. You might not like your job. You might work with a bunch of assholes, which I did many times. But think about what you have in your life. Think about the things that you have now, and think about how actually your life could have been much worse than it is now. You know, think about think that you have a job. At least you have a job. There are so many people without a job, unemployed. Think about the country that you live. Maybe it's not the best country in the world. Maybe you live in a third world country, but I'm pretty sure that there are worse countries where you could be born with and living with. So think about that. Think about your friends, if you have friends, or your family, if you have family. Think about the people that you have in your life that really cares about you, that really loves you and wants the best out of you. Think about what you have, you know. And I think that's something interesting that is going to really help you to get more peace of mind, because I think it's when you achieve this state of peace of mind and this, when you achieve this notion that life, it is what it is, and some people are much more lucky than you, some people are born into the right place, into the right conditions, but I think once you reach this, when you have a conscious of this, I think then it starts to get much easier for you to pursue your dreams. It will get much easier for you to actually do the things that you wish you would be doing, because you're gonna do things with conscience, you know. You don't want to be a fanatic, you know. You don't want to be desperate, like you don't want to feel miserable. All right, guys, that's all I have to say for now. I hope you enjoyed this episode. This is a really great quote by Rumi, so I'm really looking forward to see you again. Thank you very much and have a great day.